Welcome to the Beauty Salon
with Alyssa
and Frankie. And we have two very special guests today that we are near and dear to both of our hearts. Gentlemen, introduce yourself to our friends.
Hi, I'm Juan, also known as JMEDiii.
Hi, I'm Ricardo, also known as Medi.
I love you too. I love this. The Medis, people.
The Medis.
If you didn't know, now you know. Meet the Medis.
and the House of Hair. Juan is the best. He actually does my hair. So if you all your hair needs, hit him up. And Ricardo for your makeup needs. So they're both in the beauty space, and we're so happy to have you guys here today.
Thank you so much for inviting us on here. We are so grateful to be a part of this.
Oh my God, we're so happy to have you guys. You guys are like bundles of joy and happy energies and slaying, which is always a big win. I mean, first of all, the people at home didn't know about these magic. I wish we had a shoe cam so that they can appreciate these beautiful things because I just love the spark. They're beautiful. What do they say? Angels, you said?
They say angels.
They're gorgeous. And I love the spikes on these. You both are very, very fashion forward. Where do you pull your inspo from?
I like athleisure.
Really?
I do, Alyssa. I'm a huge Adidas fan, so he will tell you I have like 57 different tracksuits in different colors, different materials. So for me, inspiration comes from daily activity and comfort.
Oh, I love that
functionality. If it feels good, then I express my feelings after that. Through my outfit.
For me, I am normally more of like a sneaker person.
Okay.
I can be in sneakers all day, every day. But the moment that I get to, I guess, get dressed up or have somewhere to go, the inspiration where I really get everything from is actually my husband. Because when I
look at how cute you two are. Let me get the... So how does he inspire you? Tell me so I go home with the band and a blow dryer.
Well, if you were to see his closet, you would understand. So myself and my husband, we recently purchased a house, and
congratulations, by the way.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
And one of the goals, I would say one of our dreams, right, was to have a room where we can kind of convert into a closet, and that was something that we made happen.
Yeah.
And my husband has just such unique pieces that I would look at him and be like, "When are you gonna wear that?" Like, and he would just get dressed up from the very first day that I remember meeting him. It was just amazing. Like, I remember calling my sister and I'm like, oh my God, he has so much style. And here I came with a pair of high top Jordans on, right? And he is in spiked dress shoes and I have just ripped jeans on our first date. It was
How did you two meet?
Well, we met on Grindr.
It's a rock.
Grindr, if you're listening, thank you for
Yes. Wow. Yeah. So this is a success story from Grindr. Is this like a Guinness record? Well, congratulations on the anomaly. Continue.
We met on Grindr. He actually messaged me.
So you were the initial.
Oh, yes.
And he basically said, I had a gorgeous smile, and I responded where he had really dreamy eyes. So if you ever look at my phone, he's saved in my contact as Ricardo Dreamy Eyes, because you have to label them, right?
You went romantic to Playboy. Keep going.
Dreamy
Okay.
eyes.
So
because you gotta label them.
You gotta label them, right?
You gotta label them. I use emojis. I got a peach.
Right.
I got a skull and crossbones.
Right.
You changed some of them to do not answer. So if it comes up, you go,
stop sign.
Nope, stop.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. This was before emojis. You have to think. This was about. We've been together for how long, my love?
11 years.
11 years.
And you guys speak so kindly to each other.
We
you
do.
actually like one another.
We do.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, I think that that's something that has come with time. I think that time has really shown us, because you have to accept your partner. What I've learned is that you have to accept your partner throughout every year. That person's going to change, right? They're going to like new things. They're just going to find new ventures, right? And that person, throughout that consistent time that they're changing, right? I think it's like really trying to understand and like learning on how to communicate with them, right? I think communication is like the key to everything and compromising.
Oof.
So he knows
My butt
like
clenched with that one. Go ahead.
he knows like I sometimes I'm very direct,
Yeah.
right? I grew up in a very Hispanic household where my father was like straight to the
Ija.
point. Yeah, ija. And or pa que se aprende was the first one, you know?
You knew, Alyssa, you knew, honey. When mom was reaching for a flip flop, honey,
Yeah.
that's
Oh
how
my
you knew.
gosh.
Yes.
And it was like, you know, I'm glad that they learned their lesson, right? Like, you know, or so that you learn your lesson, right? So
Pause. Have you ever heard of somebody refer to a chancleta?
No.
A chancla.
Oh.
A chancla?
What does that mean?
It's a boomerang,
weapon.
girl.
It's a maternal Puerto Rican mother's favorite weapon.
What does that mean?
It's a flip flop that would enter into their hand in 2.5 seconds, and they would throw it like a boomerang, and somehow they'll never
Every
miss.
time. A chancla or a
sandal.
chancleta. It's just a flip flop.
That's so funny.
But if you hear somebody like beware of the chancla, that's because
You
that's like
duck.
homing. It's got like homing powers.
Yeah, no. Even if you duck,
Yeah, it finds you
it finds you.
Really?
every
Tracks you.
time.
Oh,
Every
yes.
time.
Right?
Every time. You could duck, run around the corner. It's flying through.
That's a Puerto Rican thing.
It's
Everybody
really a
has trauma
Hispanic
from it.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
What
Hispanic.
nationality are you, Ricardo?
Take a wild guess.
I was gonna say Puerto Rican.
You know, I get that a lot.
I don't
Frankie.
know.
I get that either I'm Puerto Rican, Cuban, or Italian.
I could see Cuban.
Oh, I could see Cuban, but I'm
Yeah.
guessing that's wrong since you
You
said
said
I
it.
get that.
Well, really, I'm from Ecuador.
Ah,
Really?
claro que sí. Okay.
Yeah.
I can see that now.
Yeah.
Now that you say it, I
Yeah.
could see it in here. I didn't know that. I always thought you were Puerto Rican. I mean, I knew you were, but I always figured you. Okay, God bless America. So, what do you think are some of the biggest differences between an Ecuadorian culture and a Puerto Rican culture?
Our foods are very different.
Mm.
Our foods are very, very different. You see, where I grew up, I come from a city called Quito. That's like miles and miles above sea level. So it's almost like a Denver, if you will, but in
Okay.
South America. And so our foods are a little more drier,
Okay.
a little bit less flavorful. Textures are different. The way that we interpret things are different. Our accents, our speaking accents are different. Our customs differ too.
Is your Spanish different from Puerto Rican Spanish? Because I know Puerto Rican Spanish, we swallow like half of the word, and it's like ad libs. What is the stereotype with an Ecuadorian Spanish dialect?
You know, our accents are just very, very different. Like we kind of lay a little bit more of an accent on our R's, for example.
Okay.
Yeah, like our R's are very defined. We speak a little slower, I think, when you compare it to like a Caribbean accent, Puerto Rican or even Dominican. But at the heart of our culture, it's the same thing time and time again, and it's family. You know, if you guys have ever seen the movie Encanto, what's the core of it?
Yeah.
It's family, you know?
One
And
of
so
my
that
favorite movies.
really is the core of our universal South American Latin culture.
His family.
Yeah.
What was the biggest adjustment creating your own family with your families? Since there's like a cultural difference and balancing it with beauty and work and all that stuff.
Oh, I would say definitely our, you know, family wise, it was actually very easy for us to bring both of our families together,
Oh, that's
right?
sweet.
Because both of our families saw the love that we have for one another. You
That's
know,
beautiful.
I remember the first time ever meeting his mother. I came straight from the gym.
Mm.
And I was like, I can't meet your mom like this because you know in my head I have to have like a suit, basically, you know? And he's like, no, just come upstairs. She would love to meet you.
Yeah.
And I just remember she pulling him aside and saying, you know, I love how he's so attentive to you.
Aw.
And that was something that she automatically knew from the very like first time I ever met her. And she saw that right away. And with my mom in the beginning, I think had a little bit more of a rough time with the whole being gay.
you.
Yeah, with
Right.
me being gay.
Right.
You know, it's like, you know, she was just like very nervous. So anyone that I brought around, she was very standoffish.
Mm.
Right.
Mhm.
And I think my grandmother is really what
Oh, wow. Wella for the win.
yeah. You know, my grandmother had she was very direct and she was very
Puerto Rican.
Yeah. But she had a way about her where she literally looked at my mother and was like, you have to, I know you're having a hard time, right? And I know what you're thinking in your head. She's like, but that's your son at the end of the day, and I love him, and it doesn't make him any less of a man, right? And she's like, and I always knew that little kid was gonna be gay because he used to get his eyebrows done. That's how my grandmother was, right?
Aww.
That's how my grandmother was. So I think that once that happened, I think my mom had a more, when I brought Ricardo in, Ricardo, she was standoffish, but she was still respected him. And I knew obviously the first time I met him, I knew from day one that we were going to be together forever. The first time I ever met him, I will never forget the first time. It was, we were right across the street for where we used to live in Asbury on Cookman Avenue. It was Old Man Rafferty's.
Pause. You lived in Cookman? I used to live in 550 Cookman, right above House of Independence.
That's where we used to live. We used to live in apartment 227.
We were 221.
Get out. Okay. That's literally right there.
It's
So
a small
we
world.
just
So wait a second. So then we'll talk later. Continue. Yep, got it. Woo! Continue.
So we moved there about 2 years ago.
Okay.
So when we left recently 2 years, just because we bought a house.
Because you bought a house.
Right.
Right.
But when we first
How'd you
met
deal with the
11 years
noise?
ago, I hated it.
Yeah, okay.
That's why you moved, right?
Yeah, that was one of the main reasons why I moved. It was there was so much noise.
Walls rumbling until 3 in the morning.
I couldn't.
Was the beer
deal.
garden still behind?
That was shut down at the time.
It flooded.
It flooded.
It flooded.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And when we moved in, initially, the House of Independence wasn't there, but thank God him and I know what permits look like on the door. So when we moved in, we saw that there was permits. We were like, they're coming back. So, it was loud, but we lived right above the House of Independence. So, I don't know if you can curse on here, but I know Juvenile Back That Ass Up kept playing every single night. Okay? I'd be like, oh, there you go.
I'm not gonna lie, you guys. The moment a little party was playing, I would quietly make myself over to my living room and start doing my dance while no one else was watching. That is one of the perks, I will say.
But I always used to make jokes, and I was like, "There's such a line out downstairs. I should just open up the side door and have everyone on the patio and just serve them drinks,
Have your
call
own.
them $50 each." Listen, I'm a
'Cause
hustler.
those patios are nice too.
Yeah, those
And
patios are gorgeous.
They were
Yes.
beautiful, and they're nice and big.
They're huge.
They were nice and big.
You could fit like literally an entire sectional grill, table, everything you could imagine on there.
What was it? What is it? 10 by 20? We did a 10 by 20 tent with like a whole thing for New Year's one time with the heaters on the backboard. We kind of got in a little bit of trouble, but God bless. It was the
Oh, that
next
was
guy.
amazing.
Yeah.
Oh,
This
we
is going
should've
back
did that.
some.
We should-
back some time
We
when
should
that
have
was.
did that.
We should have did that.
Mm-hmm.
But when we met in Asbury the first time, I will never forget. I was on the phone, and obviously, I'm like, "Oh, like, where are you?" And he's like, "Oh, I'm across the street." And I end up crossing the street, and I was like walking on the side of where the apartment doors were.
Yes.
Because I was trying to look to see where he was before he could see me. Right?
Clock it.
Yeah. I was like, okay, let me see if I like him, because if not, like, I'm
Disclaimer,
gonna dip.
disclaimer, he thought I didn't know what he was doing, but I was sitting there and I was like, that's so odd. He's over there on the side.
Wait, so
That's so funny, you knew.
So you're watching him try to clock you. You think you're clocking him,
Yeah.
and he's like, how peculiar.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna let him. It's okay.
This. What is your sign? Just pause.
Uh-huh.
I'm an Aries.
And I'm
I
a
knew that.
Pisces.
I'm a Cancer and a Leo.
Leo.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I love Leo.
Yeah, you too.
Full of fire. Full of
With the
fire,
emotional
full of
and mental head
passion.
cases.
Yeah, I always say that I'm always trying to put out the fire.
Don't leave us alone in
I
a
feel
room.
you. I feel you.
Yes.
Tough
And
cookies.
the very moment that I gave him a hug, obviously we walked up and I was like, "Hi, how are you?" And I gave him a hug. It was like the 4th of July. It literally felt like fireworks that went off, and it was April
Aw.
5th. It just felt like fireworks went off, and
Is that the how you knew feeling?
yeah.
Yes.
Was yours similar? Did you get the,
exactly the same.
really? So it was
Exactly the
almost
same.
like an energy exchange.
Yeah.
That was. Did you? Because I'm saying this because I'd like to know what it feels like at some point, because clearly whatever I'm feeling is the wrong thing. So it feels like what? Like an intense energy exchange, and then your brain recognizes it? Like, how do you, like you say, I knew. Like, help me understand how you knew. Like, both of you, because I'm trying to take notes here.
Okay, so like literally imagine the 4th of July, right? And the moment that we hugged, it was this like feeling of home. It just felt like everything around us stopped. Like it was, not to say like a fairy tale,
Like
but it
movie-ish.
it felt like exactly like that.
Aw.
It was the oddest thing. I've never felt like that ever in my life.
Wow.
Ever. It was literally, oh, sorry. It was literally like I was kind of like nervous at the feeling, because it just
Sounds
felt like time
intense.
stopped. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've never felt like that ever.
Wow. I never knew that. Was yours fireworks on Macy's too?
100%. But, you know, Frankie, I think for me too, it's you feel that you are in the room with your best friend. Like you've known them your whole life. The conversation is just so easy.
Yeah.
You know, and for me, all along I was telling myself, oh my God, I'm praying he has a good sense of humor. He has to have a good sense of humor. Because I often feel like, you know, like Jessica Rabbit, why she fell in love with Roger, right? Because he makes her laugh. And so I thought to myself, God, if he cracks a very good joke and I roll on the floor, it has to be him. And suddenly 5 minutes later, I was just rolling and I'm like, oh my God, he has a wicked sense of humor. He's funny. And that was inspiring for me because I felt like I could be silly around him, you know, and just let my guard down. Yeah, and be myself without any judgments, without any reservations. Like before he could be my partner, he could be my friend above anything. And I think that that's so important, you know, to have as a foundation in a relationship.
And this was thanks to Grindr.
Thanks to Grindr.
Thanks to Grindr, friends.
That's so funny.
Should be the spokesperson.
Yes.
Shout out Grindr.
Yeah, shout out for Grindr.
That I don't have that same result.
So I'm dying to know, since you guys are both in different workspaces, you're in makeup and you're in hair, the craziest client request you've ever had.
Oh, that's a good one.
I'm going to let you go first because I have to think about this one.
Frankie. My dear. You and I have been behind the counter, so I know you know.
Yeah,
when I say this, I know you know what I mean when I say this.
Go for it. I'm with you. I co-sign.
Help me find a red lipstick.
Oh God.
But it'll be like, help me find a red, but it's a little peachy and like a little bit gray and a little
brown.
bit blue and a little bit brown with just a little kiss of purple and a little shimmer,
white.
but not too much shimmer.
But you
know
can't see
what
it.
I'm talking about, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so in that moment, you're just kind of like, okay, let's think about maybe her undertone. Let's look at her features. Let's identify features that are so flattering in her already. It could be her skin tone. It could be the shape of her face, her lips, how bright her smile is, right? And let's find a shade that we know for sure as artists is going to be flattering for her. And we can start there. You know, and the beauty of makeup is that you can swatch it and try it. And if you don't like it, you take it off and you move on to the next.
That is so true. Picking a lipstick out at a counter with these.
Oh, honey, and you were at Max, so I know.
Girl.
I know. You were on a treasure hunt.
You should have seen I had a swatch for every color. Here was Diva, Ruby Woo, Lady Danger, Heroine, all of them. And I would powder them.
Yeah.
And then I would just put my arm up against their face in the mirror and be like, pick one.
Yeah.
Because I was tired of swatching them. So at some point I had to think,
that's smart.
I was just like, here, which one you like? And I would go like this, like with my arm so that this way they could see it.
I think for me, the craziest client request, I think there's two things, right? One, I think is my black hair girlies. And the reason why is because they want a blue-black, right? They want to be blue-black.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want to be ashy, but they want to see it in the light that it's blue. But their hair can't be that, because in order to do that, I have to bleach them out to like Alyssa's color, okay, to make it. But they don't want to be royal blue.
No.
I think that's like the hardest. Is it like, is it so blue that it's black, or is it black with a blue tint? My blonde-headed girlies, they're not. My blonde-headed girlies, I don't really have an issue with.
I was gonna say every blonde I mean, most of my friends at one point were, including Alyssa, were blonde, and they all go to you. So you do a great job.
He does.
No, I really don't have a issue with my blonde-headed girlies.
And who is the other one I was told to tell you that does a great job? Trina?
Yes.
Does a fabulous job, too.
Trina is amazing.
Fabulous.
She was one of my clients.
Shut
her and
up.
I have been, we went to hair school together.
Oh, how cute.
So her and I were in the same class. One day I saw her eating lunch and she was just like by herself. And I was like, oh, come with me to McDonald's. And I introduced her to another girl and we became like a trio, right? And it was like ever since then, she would text me, hey, can you do my hair? And then I started doing her hair. And she was one that her hair is very difficult. Her hair is very difficult because she's as dark as me and wants to be the brightest of blonde.
Oh, bendito. Okay.
And then she likes to go ahead and put fantasy color on top of it. Which,
what is fantasy color?
Like red, pinks and blues and purples. And she looks amazing.
Yeah.
I wish. It doesn't look as good as on me.
I could see you rocking some like hot pink hair.
No, on her, she just had she has like the vibe. She has like the tattoos,
I understand.
the skin, you know, like it.
So she's got the roots,
aesthetics.
The vibe.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. All right, fair.
And
point for you.
She was someone that she was such a challenge, I think, with me starting out blondes because with her hair, if you didn't get it to a certain point, you would automatically see if it was yellow. She could automatically see if the color wasn't right.
That's an eye.
Yeah, like she's the type of client that you have to let the foil sit, open them up, and then run away and be like, okay, 15 more minutes, and then look at them again and be like, run to the sink right now, you know?
Yeah. Or even have like the bottle of conditioner with the water in it and then just like quickly do like, okay, come on, this is like treatment.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's one of those clients. But I think the most challenging now in my career with doing extensions is really giving.
You do fabulous extensions, by the way.
Thank you. Thank you. I think the hardest thing is now getting people to understand that with extensions, you have to match the density of the client's hair. So if you have fine hair, the extensions are going to be finer. And in their mind, they look at celebrities, right, that have like this like big voluminous of hair, and they're like, well, I want to look like this. And it's like, your hair can't support that, right? Because you have to think about it's like building a house.
Yeah.
So that's okay. So this is interesting. So say somebody does come in with fine hair and they do want that. Would you recommend like a hair system, a wig, or as opposed to extensions, or like how would that work?
I would probably refer them to a wig.
Okay.
Right, because if the person has finer hair, chances are you're going to start seeing a little bit of like scalp.
Yes.
Right, and extensions, they can go up there depending on the method that you're doing.
Okay.
Right? But in essence, the best thing that's going to give you 100% coverage that's not going to put as much stress on the hair is going to be a wig.
Right. Okay. True or false? Extensions hurt your hair and make it fall out faster.
False. I think that it's improper installation.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
And improper maintenance. So, just like your car, right? If you don't get the oil changed, it's going to break down, right? So extensions are exactly the same way. If you are not strategic in the way that you are going in for your maintenance and your scheduled appointments, they will make your hair fall out.
Okay, so that it's not the extension, it's the user. It's not that it's like they need to do certain things so that
they need
doesn't
to take care
happen.
of the hair for them to be nice.
Yeah.
And if you don't, then you're going to have problems.
Yeah. And I've seen it all with extensions. You know, I've seen matting. I've seen, people's hair turn into dreadlocks, right? Because they don't brush it or they're not following the maintenance.
So what made you guys both get involved in the beauty world?
Me? So I'll tell you a fun story. I actually wanted to be a makeup artist.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, no way.
So one day I was at my girlfriend's house and I was in college and I started helping her apply like eyeshadow. And I just loved the process of like blending eyeshadow. Now it was CoverGirl back in the day. It was not good pigment. Everything turned gray. There was, but you know, I was like just trying to like fiddle around with it. And my older sister's a hairstylist, right? So I was like, obviously I don't want to be like, we already have a hairstylist in the family. I want to be my own person, right?
Mm.
So she actually recommended for me to go to hair school. And I was like, okay. And I was just like, I want to be a makeup artist. So in hair school, I would do a lot of makeup. Then we had this makeup artist come in. I don't remember what her name was. And one day she starts talking about how she does all this bridal. And I'm like, I want to do bridal. I want to make tons of money doing bridal. So she's like, and so I raised my hand and I'm like, well, where do you find your clients? She goes, well, you have to work at a counter. And I was like, well, who's that? And she goes, like, a Mac counter, like, and I was like, well, where's that, right? And she's like, a Nordstrom, a Macy's. And I said, oh, shit, I got to work. Just like that. I'm like, oh, shit, I got to work retail? And she goes, well, yeah, like, looked at me confused. And I looked at her and I was like, I'm trying to get away from that. Oh, hell no. I guess we're going to do hair, okay? And nowadays, it's... for me, like I started doing color. Color came such second nature to me, right? So color was just like I had no fear with color. I still don't have no fear with color. And it became so natural. I was just like, okay, so we're going to do hair and we're going to give this 100%. And I think that was like one of the biggest things when I gave it 100% and I blocked out everything and really put my heart and soul into it. It turned into what we are today.
Yeah. I love that you said that because honestly, guys, to me, the beauty industry is just a place of belonging, you know? When you walk into beauty stores, it could be Sephora, it could be Ulta, department store, you see all ages, all walks of life, different colors, different expressions, right? A lot of people really express their culture, their feelings, their state of mind through the way that they look, through their makeup, through the way that their skin looks too. And so that was one thing that I think was very inspiring for me. And so I always had a little bit of an interest, but really I fell into the well of beauty by accident.
Really?
Yeah. So I've always been in sales my entire life. And I actually began my career in South America in an ad agency. And so when I moved out here, I was in retail selling, and somebody who worked for a cosmetic company heard me working with a client, selling and building a sale and showing care for the person and selling an experience and having fun while I'm doing it. And suddenly that person sought me out outside of the store and said, do you wear makeup? And I said, oh, I love to wear makeup. Oh, well, can you sell it? And I said, well, I don't really know. I've never sold anything, a piece of makeup, but, you know, I'm happy to give it a shot. And then, you know, 15 years later, here we are. I said, you know what?
Sounds like you were good at it.
I'm just going to take a sip out of the well. I said, I'm just going to take a sip. Somebody hand me a straw. Let's take a quick sip. I mean, how bad could it be? And then I fell in. And here we are. And honestly, really, thank you to the beauty community because I have felt very welcome. It's a place of you know, where inclusivity is welcome, diversity is celebrated. I have made to feel very special. I've met incredible people throughout my journey. People who went on to become colleagues and other who went on to become friends and even like family, you know? And so it's very endearing. And for me, when I met him, and he said, oh, you know, I'm in hair. It felt right because I'm like, wow, he's in beauty too. And so he understands, you know, and maybe, just maybe along the way, we'll see the world differently, but we'll see it together and see it the same at times. And that's one other thing that I think is very inspiring too.
I agree with that.
So poetic. It's like listening to him speak is like poetry.
Amazing.
Thank you.
What is this? This is real all the time.
This is all the time. And I think that's what like the best part about our relationship is, right? Because
you speak beautifully.
It's amazing. And that's the one thing that I fell in love with.
I could see why in the most respectful of manners. And in that vein, if we were to wrap this up with a bow, what's the final thing that you would send off people looking maybe to get into the beauty industry? You know, if you were to give them a piece of advice from your journey that you've been on, because you are now here, you are where people want to go. If you were to talk to somebody that maybe be seeing this and you were to only be able to give them one piece of solid advice, and it doesn't necessarily have to be, but however it will get them here.
Just know that your failures are not really failures, right? They're lessons, right? And I think that one thing, it's when you fail, it's for you to learn, and it's for you to learn on how to pivot more so. I think a lot of times what happens in the beauty industry, they when you don't get the result right away that you want, right, you tend to kind of like give up, right? And I feel like you shouldn't try to, like, don't let that lose like sight of your motivation. You have to look at a different angle, right? Because maybe that door isn't open, but maybe there's another door. It's just like you're entering in the wrong way, right? Maybe you're going in through the exit and you really should be going through the enter sign, right? I think that a lot of times in the beauty industry, you know, we look for instant gratification, right? And we think that it'll come easier, or this is going to be the next best thing. And I think that sometimes it kind of makes people step away a little because they're not getting the results. But I think that if they look at what they are doing and take a step back and look at, okay, so I tried this way, let's try to go to a different angle. It would be, I think that like it, a lot of times it works that way, right? Like, so for myself with the salon, I think that for me, the one reason why we became so successful is because one, failure wasn't an option, right? So I had to make it work. No matter what I did, I was going to make it work. And I think that a lot of times people don't have that mindset, right? They kind of fail and they kind of like give up. And I think that they should go back in and go back to the drawing board and see where they can go ahead and.
I love that.
Yeah, I do too. It reminds me of our friend Michelle Barone. She has a saying, what is it? Work until it works.
Yeah. You have to throw it at the wall and see if it sticks.
Love that.
Right? It's like spaghetti, right? If it sticks, great. Right?
The other half of me doesn't throw spaghetti.
I was like, not so
oh no,
My
don't throw it. No,
grandmother will roll over. You know? What about you, boss? Tell us in your natural cadence. I'm going to close my eyes and envision butterflies when you speak too.
Oh, Frankie, I love that.
I love it even more.
Already.
I love it even. I'm seriously closing my eyes. I'm going to listen to you speak like an audiobook.
Thank you. You know, for me, one of my biggest learnings is the beauty industry is one of the most glamorous working places. You know, people think, oh my God, people are so beautiful and they're so put together and they're all so pretty. And, you know, how hard could it be? But it's a lot of work, you know, it's a lot of work and it's long and any level, right? Whether it's at the store, whether it's in retail, whether it's in corporate, whether it's in education, marketing, it's long hours, it's big projects. You know, for us to get a lipstick into the client's hands, it takes a whole village of people. And so it's a lot of commitment, it's a lot of grit. And really, it's a lot of, you know, putting in the effort and trusting the process, right? That what you're doing is going to take you along the right path. And if there is one piece of advice that I can give to anyone listening to this, it's, you know, take a chance. Take a chance. You have nothing to lose. You know, what I think is so beautiful about the beauty community and the industry itself is it's a home that you can always come back to. You know, stick your toes in it, go with it. Give it your all 100%. And if it doesn't work, you know what? Take a break. You know, you've taken a break. I've taken a break. And when we looked over our shoulder, the industry and the community were right there. And I thought that was so great. You know, you have nothing to lose and do it. Pursue your love, pursue your passion, meet people, network as much as you can. Give kindness forward because it comes back tenfold. You know, give it to people so that they can give it to others, and so that they can give it back to you too. So those are my thoughts.
That.
Yeah.
Perfect. I no notes.
Yes. Thank you guys both for coming on today. If you could tell everyone where they could follow you or find you, or if they want to book any appointments.
Yes, you guys can follow me on JMEDiii or the House of Hair Instagram. You could definitely go on there. We have a link and you guys can book your appointments coming up.
Yeah, and you guys can find me on Instagram and on TikTok. I am RMEDiii, RMEDiii. Thanks so much.
And you can find me on all socials at Alyssa Grassi.
And you can find me at all socials at the Frank Joseph.
Bye.
Toodaloo, Tootsies.